Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. Today is December 26th, and I found a little moment this morning to be with you. Yesterday it was Christmas, so I just took the day off. It wasn't really my intention, but I did. I went with the flow and just spent it with my family. So beautiful, and I'm so grateful to be home. Okay, I'm already thinking about the new year and my own. I don't really do New Year's resolutions because I try to do that all year round. Let me just start to get into it and what I'm thinking about that what I wish for everybody is peace and harmony. And not because it's like, I don't know, it's our nature, and peace and harmony is our nature. And that's what we're asking for. And I'm here to share my guidance system, and my guidance system is the authentic self that I have been observing, and for a long time I've been observing. So let me just start out to express how I started to or to give you some tips for 2018 if you at all are interested. And if you're not interested, it's all good, because I have no interest in convincing anybody of anything. But I know that from my life, I do not suffer as much irrationally. Do you understand? And I started that with meditation. And meditation can be very, very scary for a lot of people. I do not meditate at the moment, but it started with this. And it started at the introduction to myself, which was many, many, many years ago. I can say probably like about 12 years ago, or more or less, even more than that, I guess. It doesn't matter at all, because there's no such thing as time. And when you start to realize there's no such thing as time, and we have learned that, when you start to meditate, you start to realize that the monkey mind is crazy. And it jumps from one thing to another and one thing to another. And a lot of people are terrified of this because they think that that is them. And we think that that monkey mind is us. It's not us. It is not us. It is a part of us that should not be dismissed. That's why it's there. I believe that the contrast is there for us to recognize, and it's not to be dismissed at all. Do not dismiss your monkey mind. Do not dismiss anything. It's allowing and getting out of your way and allowing that to happen. Because what we can do is we can stuff ourselves with food and drugs and anything to distract us, alcohol, or anything to distract us from the reality of that situation, of that mind. And the more and more you meditate, the more you sit with yourself and you recognize the play. And the play, literally, it is a play. It is just thoughts, random thoughts that come into your brain and your mind, or whatever you want to call it. And there's an opportunity in that to witness it, to watch it, and realize that it's not you before you get hijacked in your daily experience. A lot of people are scared of this because then they have to take responsibility for that. And that can be so overwhelming to you that you believe, and that's what I mean by hijack, that it is you, and that the craziness is you, and that you're affected by everything and everybody's situation, and you believe you have to react to this to make it true, because we've learned, or I learned, that it is final. Do you understand? And that when you get hijacked by it, and I do mean by hijacked because that's literally what happens, is that you start to become that thought. And your motor skills and automatic pilot happens because you are believing it. It becomes true. Assumptions become a reality. You assume things about others, which I can tell you is not true. The illusion of that is like grand, it's massive, and you believe that it is you. We've never been educated to realize this, but if you sit and meditate and you start to realize that the monkey mind, that's the first option that you have, or first From the witness effect, the first introduction you get to your authentic self. Because what is behind the thoughts is your authentic self. You have a possibility to allow those things to rise and fall, because they're going to. It doesn't matter how far you can sit and meditate for 25 years, 30 years, and it quietens it down. It's a tool. It is a tool. It's not necessary. I believe it's not necessary, but in the beginning, when you suffer irrationally because of comparison, competition that society has dictated to us, a social consciousness is probably the thoughts in your brain that tells you that you're not good enough, or that you're fat, or that you're like a loser, or you're not as pretty, or you're not all this bullshit that is not true. You are beautiful. You are everything, and everything is possible when you witness your mind and allow it to pass by. And I guarantee you that thoughts, or negative thoughts, or even positive thoughts, I don't even get attached to the positive thoughts, because they tell me that I'm like, you know, they can tell me that I'm good, and that I have something more than other people have. Like, I've accomplished this and I've accomplished that. I'm from a place, you know, that where, you know, people can be, my mind can say that people are stupid or whatever. It's so not real. Nothing is real. It's not form. It's formless. Do you understand? It's form. But love is supreme, and love is that thing that is behind, you know, you are the sky. That thing that is behind all those thoughts arise and fall. And you have an opportunity. I share that, and for 2018, I'm already thinking about that. And like, I have been incorporating this in my life for a very, very long time. And I have an opportunity. It's like, and you never get it done. It's like a constant attention on those thoughts. And life is incredibly magical and so beautiful without any judgments or labels. However your guidance system, if it's religion or a denomination of something of some sort that has been conditioned to you, that's all good. If that rings true for you, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Do you understand? So like, the proof is in the pudding. Look at your lifestyle. Or not lifestyle, look at the way you respond. Do you respond automatically, or do you step back for a second, and do you give hate or love or unconditional love, or what do you give? Does it have to be conditional? This is all in the possibility of being aware of your mind and the trap that really it's your ego. It's all that, and it's all created, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just how do you respond? Okay, I'm back. It's very funny because I always, like, it's so funny. If you watch my stuff, my cards always go, my battery dies, all these things. And anyway, I'm back. Okay, so meditation, give it a try. Sit for 5 minutes. Sit for 1 minute and watch that brain, watch that mind have its way. And all of a sudden you'll have thoughts of, like, when you're 6 years old, 5 years old, you'll have thoughts of yesterday, you'll have thoughts of, you know, every random thing that's just like doesn't even make sense. And when you witness that, I don't know, for me it was a huge opportunity, and I think it's a great tool. But I also don't believe that we have to do anything to witness that. You can do this on your daily basis, but for a lot of people who are even scared of this, because it's just so scary, because you want to run away from your thoughts, and things bubble up that it's coming from, it can tell you something too. So it's just a very interesting tool to use. So I don't do it, but I suggest that you do use the tool of meditation. Okay, after all of this, so I believe, like, what I feel is I feel so content, I'm happy. And as a choice of my authentic self. Now, what arises and falls within the mind, like, just like when you meditate, it happens during your daily experience. And so you can have judgments and labels and all these kind of things. Before it hijacks you, there's a gap, as we say. And within that moment, a gap, you can respond, or not talk at all, or not be busy with other people's opinions or preferences, or, you know, you can live in harmony. And living in harmony is about living in harmony with yourself, and in harmony with this thinking, the thinking brain, and, you know, and at the same time, There is a moment, and the now is so important. And that's what you are doing when you meditate. You're in the now. And in my daily life, I'm always in the now, like most of the time. I would say 95% of the time. And in that gap, there's a moment for you to respond to it, or allow it and respond to it if you want to respond to it. That's the magical thing about that. And at the moment, there's a huge part of the population that is opening to consciousness. And I say this again and again and again, and I will, because I desire to get to a place where I motivate people who are interested in this, and I can share these thoughts, and I can share this. I can share a way. It's not the only way, I guess. I don't know. I assume. But assumptions are assumptions. But I know that you are powerful, and the power of intention is constantly available. Because what do you intend? In that gap, there's a possibility in that gap of thoughts. Before you respond to something is an opportunity, and in that gap is a miracle. And the miracle manifests. And that is what Jesus was talking about. And Jesus walked on this earth, and he was an amazing person. But I believe, in my belief, I've come to realize that I am like Jesus. And that's very blasphemy for a lot of people, and it's difficult because they worshiped something or somebody that was outside of them, and God and the whole story. And I respect everybody, I really respect everybody for however the guidance system that they have in themselves. And if that brings you peace and harmony and non-judgments and non-labels, but I don't experience that, because there's, you know, you can have your belief system, but when you judge other people, you're judging yourself. Do you understand? So I think that there is no need to label and judge. And that's what organized religion has done to me. And I see it around, you know, it's like some people won't agree with this because they believe that if they are around, or if they associate themselves with anything that's not of this guidance system that they have, a prejudice, or, you know, the color of their skin, their sexuality, that's just two big main things that separate people from each other, and not spreading the love that is like in that gap. So you can give unconditional love, and I thought that you know, organized religions are all about that, but the proof is in the pudding, and it's not really. And so therefore you suffer, because it makes you afraid of something you don't understand. People are afraid of what they don't understand. We all have been conditioned to be that. But fear is an illusion within itself, and fear is like, you know, runs the show on a lot of people, because they're afraid they won't look good, they're afraid they won't fit in, they're afraid to be themselves, they're afraid to be with people, they judge people because they're afraid that they're, you know, living, that God's going to judge them, which is interesting, because I don't think the Bible, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, is like a golden rule, right? So I don't really see this happening. It happens in my immediate family. People come together, but a lot of people, not in my immediate family, sorry, in my extended family, and outside socially, you know, around certain peoples and cultures and things like that. But I think it is the age of the individual, in the sense of, like, it maybe seems selfish, but the attention, in the end, it's really all about you. And if you worship a God, you know, you're entitled, you're absolutely entitled. But a lot of people in this world, there's 9 billion people on the planet, a lot of people have different perspectives and different ways to, I don't know, worship. But when you self-actualize yourself and you come to realize, I'm at a point in my life where I do not live with anyone else's opinions or perspective. I follow my heart, and I follow my way of living, and that is just unconditional love. And I share that because it is the truth for me. I don't judge or label. It doesn't mean that my mind doesn't do that, because I've been conditioned. But all that's just, that's what I've been taught. And I'm in the mode in the last years and years of just unlearning everything and realizing what is mine and what's not mine. And that for me is the kingdom of heaven. Heaven is here on earth and hell is here on earth. It's in your daily life. Look at it. I don't know, the proof is in the pudding. But if you like your choices, and if they create happiness, and to create you to be happy, content, and not worry about other people, and share, that's the best thing we can do. And I tell you, miracles do happen. Everything that has been taught in organized religion, there's so much truth in a lot of that, but it's like it's being organized, and it separates people. The world is like this, it's just separated. I don't want this in my life, so I stop. I don't judge or label. It happens. I don't have to be with people but I have love, unconditional love for everybody, but I have choice of who I spend my time with, and I have preferences, and my preferences are valued for myself, and so should yours. So if it brings you peace and harmony, then I wish that the best, and I want that for everybody, absolutely. It's utopian. Yes, I do look to that, because I give what I get what I give, you know? What goes around comes around kind of thing. I don't know. But also within that, so I'm back to consciousness, and consciousness is awareness, and awareness is everything. Because the possibility there to create who you want to be and what you want to do, believe, dream, believe, achieve, that is all there. If that's what you want to do. If you don't want to, you're not a victim of any circumstance, and you're not being judged. You're only judged by your own self. And I don't know, that up there, that God that you worship, I don't know, I think it's love. And I think he doesn't want, if it's a he or she or, I don't know, doesn't want hate. But hate happens, I guess, I don't know. But anyway, all of this brings me to not being a person, because as I recognize the conditioned self is right there in front of me, and I'm living inside this shell, and the ego is a social construct, and it's been developed and taught to us. That's why I feel like that's why I started asking myself to unlearn everything, so I can choose my path. And with all respect to all living creatures on the earth, peace on earth, period. And this is my way. The way of the peaceful warrior. Yes. Dan Millman, it's an amazing book. So that's my story today, and it's after Christmas, and I want to leave you with, last night I went into this house with strangers and people I knew, and I reunited with some parents of a friend of mine's, my sister's friend, after 35 years, I think. More or less, maybe 40. Something, even 30, I don't know. Between 30 and 40 years. And it was one of the most beautiful experiences I have, and acceptance and support. And these people were a preacher and a preacher's wife. No judgments. I was with my partner. Open homosexuals, everybody in the room. There was from kids to adults, and there was so much harmony, and it brought so much love to my heart, and it's like so optimistic, and it brings tears to my eyes, because I recognize, because I'm in that moment to recognize the joy that has been given to me and the support that's given to me, because I give it to other people without any labels and judgment. It doesn't matter what their preferences or opinions are. They rise above that and they accept everything, and that's what we are. We live in harmony. We can agree to disagree. Do you understand? And without pointing our fingers or judging each other, just loving each other, and for accepting all of a person and themselves and how they want to live their lives, and they choose. It's their prerogative. It's everybody's prerogative. Worship who you want to worship. Be how you want to be. That's it. Be how you want to be. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you is amazing. And do no harm. Do no harm, and do no harm to yourself, you know? There are so many people that are suffering around the world there's so much people, it just starts, the bullying and the conditioned self, and then self-hatred. I read a book by the Dalai Lama called The Art of Happiness, and in that book, someone told him about self-hatred, which is huge in America, because you're fat, or you're not this, or that you're not the beauty queen, you're not butch enough, you're not man enough, you're just too sissy, it's all of this stuff. It's just not, it's an illusion. It's just, I don't know, it's just not true. It brings irrational suffering. So, harmony, 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 that's what I want. So I hope you had a beautiful Christmas, and thank you so much for being with me, and I hope you got something out of this talk. It's gonna be long, it's gonna probably take all day to upload, but I don't care, because there's no such thing as time. So when it comes out, just know that you are all powerful and you are God. And if that offends you, I'm not sorry, because I don't want any, it's just my choice. I love all of you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Keep spreading the joy, and I feel like the world is waking up little by little by little. It's all around me, and it's so beautiful, and we live in harmony and peace, and that's what Christmas is. And Santa, imagination, and the belief in that. It's not about gift giving, it's about giving. Just that. Give to yourself. Give yourself the tool of meditation, and watch and learn and share and love your fellow man. That's all I gotta say. New Year's around the corner, and I'm here in Alabama with my family, and I feel absolute love and support all around me, and that's what I want for you. I love you so much, and thank you for watching this if you got this far. Have a great day. Ciao.